heart and welcome to this episode of the Drink Less, Live Better podcast. This is the podcast that helps you to see that drinking less doesn't need to be stressful, lonely or boring. I'm your host, Sarah Williamson, and I decided to have a year alcohol-free as a little life experiment and haven't looked back. I'm a best-selling author, expert speaker and life coach. I'm here to support you with your alcohol-free or drink less adventures. Give me a follow on Instagram at Drink Less, Live Better and head to the website drinklesslivebetter.com where you will be able to sign up to the 5-day Drink Less experiment, find blog posts and you can choose to join the email club where I share resources, wisdom, insights and glimmers of hope and joy. I hope you enjoy the episode today. Let's get straight to it. I'm listening. Are you ready? We might be able to say people listen to us, unless perhaps we are an infant school teacher and then we know nobody listens to us. I'm joking, obviously. People listen to what we say, but do they really hear us? Have you ever wondered why it feels so good when someone really tunes in to what we're saying? Let's explore 3 juicy reasons why being listened to really hits the spot for us. Number 1, it's like a brain massage. When somebody gives us their undivided attention, it's as if they are really reaching into our minds and giving our neurons a soothing rub. You see, we're human and we are social creatures. We're wired to connect, to share, to be understood. When someone listens to us deeply, it really satisfies our primal need for connection. It's as if we're getting a scratch itched that we didn't even know we had. We feel seen, acknowledged, and validated. Your thoughts really matter. Your feelings really matter. You matter. And somebody listening to us really shows us this. The feeling of being heard can be powerful. It really reduces our stress and anxiety. It's a bit like having a pressure valve released. All those thoughts and feelings that have been swirling around in our heads finally have somewhere to go. They're out in the open, acknowledged, and somehow they then feel less overwhelming. It's no wonder we often feel good after saying all of the stuff out loud. It's as if we've had a mental declutter. I like to think of our thoughts a bit like a big knot of wool, and talking and being heard allows us to gently wind the wool back into a lovely, neat shape. Number 2. It helps us to focus on ourselves. How often are we focusing everywhere but on ourselves? Let's be honest, when somebody actually really listens to us, we sometimes go a bit overboard with it. We've been given the green light to let loose, and suddenly everything that we've been holding back, we let rip with. All the things we might never say because perhaps it feels self-indulgent. There's something very liberating about being able to express ourselves freely without the fear of judgment or interruption. We get to explore our thoughts out loud, follow tangents, and discover new insights about ourselves in the process. The freedom to express ourselves can lead to some pretty amazing revelations. As we talk, we might stumble upon solutions to problems we've been grappling with, or gain new perspectives on situations that have been troubling us for some time. It's a bit like having a thought curator who helps us sort through the jumble in our minds and arrange things neatly on display. Perhaps we also get to put some thoughts back in boxes for now. I certainly know that's my way. Let's not forget the joy of hearing our own voice spoken out loud. When someone is truly listening to us, we do feel encouraged to keep talking. It gets easier to say the tricky stuff out loud the more we get to recognise someone has capacity to hear all of the things we've got to say. Number 3, it supports us to process the bits we couldn't do alone. The person who's lending us their ears becomes the keeper of our secrets, the witness to our experiences, and the validator to our feelings. They're like a human diary, but better because they allow us to share our experiences and nod along. The listener becomes a place for us to be vulnerable. We can share our fears, our doubts, our wildest dreams without worrying about being judged. Who's able to listen to you right now? Do they have the capacity to really hear you? How might it feel for you to be able to say out loud some of the thoughts in your head? You know where I am for coaching. Find the details on my website at drinklesslivebetter.com. It's not all coaching about alcohol. It's also coaching and listening about life. Thank you so much for listening in today. Come back again next week. If you fancy rating and reviewing the podcast, that would be amazing. Thank you. And P.S. I believe in you.